Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. A fabulous Super Bowl Sunday to everybody out there. Once again, my name is Jason Wabick, the host of the Uncheck the Box podcast. Yep, it's Super Bowl Sunday when I'm recording this, and wish you all a phenomenal unofficial American holiday today, right? I don't particularly have a rooting interest per se, but always a fun family day. Later football game, make some good food, and just relax and break bread, like I said, with the family, right? So, any rate, welcome. Great to be with you guys again this week. You know, it's really cool. I was sitting down and putting together a topic, which is all around effort today. And, you know, this is my 6th official episode, and what I'm finding out is there are so many different connections to previous different topics and how they all are intertwined together, and in some facets connect to each other, and others bringing up new ideas about leveling up and bettering ourselves, right? And today is really no exception. We're going to talk effort, but a lot of the stuff is really just going to connect and finish up where we left off on previous conversations, right? So, and I'll be referring to those as they pop up here. So, today we're talking effort. The last little over a month, we're talking about how we can add some routine into our day and some things to keep an eye on, and forming good habits, breaking bad habits. So now that we have structure to our day, and we've come to the conclusion that embracing a degree of uncomfortableness is what we're trying to strive for in the efforts of being the best version of ourselves that we can be, now we have to put in a little bit of effort, right? So I looked up effort in the dictionary, and it was very simple. It was should I say the definition was very simple: a vigorous or determined attempt. So pretty straightforward. We can exert a lot of energy in what we're doing. That doesn't necessarily mean it's effort. And we could also exude a lot of effort. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're moving forward, right? So where do we start? It starts with, my friends, having a goal and a vision first. Because like I said, we could be working extremely hard at something, but essentially just spinning around a vicious cycle and never really going anywhere. That is one of the challenges when we talked about habits and having too many habits, and at once, we're just kind of spinning our heads and never really do officially accomplish one thing, right? With having too many plates spinning in the air. There was this quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger. It says, "You can have the best cruise ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where he's going, then the ship just drifts around the world at sea. You're never really going anywhere, right?" There's an analogy that I use, and I'll share it with you, with the sales professionals that I work with, and it's somewhat of a rhetorical question. Is your GPS programmed? And the analogy goes like this. So we set out on a trip. We're going to leave in our car, and we're going to go out of state. We're going to the coast, going to the beach, going down south. We're going out west, wherever you're going. It's a place we don't frequent on a regular basis. So more times than not, what do we have to do? Before we set out, we've got to program those directions in our GPS, right? At least that's what we do in 2021. Back when I was in college and I went to school, 4 states away, 11-hour drive. I don't even know how I did this, but, we had maps back then, right? And by myself, driving 4 or 5 states or whatever it was, I'm like, man, I still think back today. I'm like, how did we do that? How did I do that, right? But today, thank goodness we have a GPS, right? We don't even have to think about it. So we program it. What if we don't program our destination into their GPS? I mean, could we get to our destination, eventually, I guess we could, right? Following signs and things like that. I mean, it's going to take a lot more time, a lot more resources, gas, which costs money. Maybe it's a couple extra nights in a hotel because we've got to sleep, food. So it's going to cost us more money, more time, but we might get to our destination. But what if we have that GPS program? Even if we get off track, it'll reroute us. It ensures us that we get to the destination the most efficient way possible. True statement, right? It keeps us on track. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're talking about today, right? Where are we going? What are we working for? It is so easy to wander through our day aimlessly, just wasting time. And without a goal and without vision, all of the effort that we're putting into our day, good chance that it's being wasted, right? So now it's to the work. So now we have that structure. We have that framework. Now it's time to do that work. So let's break this thing down, right? Let's talk about this. Is this work easy? Absolutely not. All right? Especially if we're trying to learn something or do something we're not comfortable with. Like we've said multiple times already. We've already embraced being uncomfortable, so there's pain involved with that. But my friends, pain is temporary. But if you quit, it lasts forever. If it's something that you want and you're not willing to endure that pain, then deep down, it sustains itself for a lot longer by not enduring that pain. And effort, who's it really between? Effort is between you and you. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to use an example. We talked about today is a big day. It's Super Bowl Sunday. My team's the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we were one game away. Still super proud of them, right? But using them as an example, Josh Allen, our quarterback, right? Absolutely just, I don't know where the heck he came from this year. Absolutely had a record year, busted internal club records, was a candidate for MVP this year for the league. But what we see are the results on the field every single day. What we don't see is the effort that he's putting in or that the team's putting in, or for that matter, any athlete, any person, any team is putting in. All we see are the results. So, again, effort is between you and you. It's the results that everybody else is going to see. It's those results that you want that ultimately is going to drive you to put forth that effort. Just remember this. A little bit of pain won't kill you. And every successful person who's ever achieved milestones, big or small, and they're good at what they do, they failed. Because without effort, we don't fail. And without failure, we don't grow. Thus, we grow through effort. And yet, so many people don't put themselves out there. I know we mentioned it already, but so many people don't tap into being the best version of themselves. They don't level up, right? So it's partially not having that game plan, not having that vision, and having so much effort just spinning around, but it's also partially not putting in the effort required. When you have both, now we're moving. When your GPS is programmed, we're not wasting time. We have that solid routine. Now we're ready to execute the effort. Good things are happening, my friends. I'm telling you, just wait for it. I promise you. With all of those things aligned, just wait for it. Now that we've talked about effort, let's focus just for a brief period of time on the opposite. The opposite is effortless. We just have to be careful because obviously we can exude too much effort, and we talked about that, but we can also not exude enough effort. But there is a time in which life is a combination of actually doing both. And actually embracing a certain amount of effortlessness can help. Let's break one down. we're working on an activity, right? We're learning something, and to start out, it may seem like we just can't get it. And over time, it starts to get better and better and better. And then it somewhat becomes effortless, right? But then it's time to push ourselves even further and take on more things that cause us to be uncomfortable. But there are also certain things in our day that we should be effortless. Let's look at a couple of them. Because being effortless requires no physical or mental exertion. And there are, again, certain periods of our day that this is something that we want to achieve. So things like sleep is a huge one, my friends. Have you ever tried to will yourself to sleep or tried to put yourself to sleep? You can't physically put effort into making yourself fall asleep, right? So that's one of those things where it requires effortlessness. Things like love, loving somebody, our feelings, being genuine, right? Those are effortless. And obviously breathing. Breathing requires energy, but it doesn't require effort. I guess it boils down to just knowing where you're at. You know what your routine is. You know how you feel. You know where your mind is at, where your energy is at, and channeling it. And knowing when to put forth effort and when not to. So it boils down to this, my friends. Effort requires energy, yes, but the beautiful part about this is we can get solid sleep every night, right? We can recharge our batteries. So tomorrow morning when we wake up, we've got more energy. So there's a lot of good to do out there. Let's channel our effort in the right ways. Let's have that good framework, that good structure. Let's have our good routines and habits. And let's go out and own every single day. As always, I appreciate you spending some time with me this week. I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your week. And then we'll meet back next week. Same time, same place. Have a great rest of your day. Kill it today. And we'll see you next time.